Alright, in our next MenuLink training module, we're going to take a few moments and look at inventory reporting. Now, it's very important to understand how MenuLink does its inventory. If you click Inventory and Prep, you have several tabs here, and it can be kind of confusing. Transfers are for when we're moving product from one of our stores to another, either on loan or in trade. And it's very important to fill out a transfer report when you do it, because MenuLink does keep a constant record of what is in our store, and any movement of product needs to be documented. So we would use the transfer tab, and it's very similar to creating an invoice. You just have it as a transfer between the two stores, and as long as you own those stores, the transfer will be immediate so that you don't have to fill it out at both locations. You would just grab that invoice. Inventory posting is what we use at the end of it. It offers a weekly, but we do the weekly inventory, believe it or not, at the end of the month. Now, MenuLink knows how much product has come in based on when we do the weekly inventories, plus every invoice that we input is included. If we were to go under weekly inventory, it would give us a time frame to report. Now, my recommendation is we can go look at an existing, and I've done one on 5/2 of 2016. I'm going to pull that up so we can take a look at it. Now, this was a period end inventory, and you'll notice that at the top you have your title, posting by location, the date, then description. It says make line. Make line is a category, and we're not going to use make line. Instead, if I'm not mistaken, there are 6 total categories. We're only going to use 3 or 4 of them. We're going to use the walk-in because of the redundancy. You'll notice that on the make line, it obviously asks how much pepperoni is in the make line. Then you go look how much is in the walk-in. And if it were another, let's say, dry product, it could be in 3 different locations. So we're specifically going to use the walk-in. We are going to use dry storage. And we're going to use new items. And those are the only categories that we're going to use, because that does, in fact, have all of our product, and we're going to put the lump sum in the correct box. Now, let's go to our walk-in. I know that our soda is technically in dry storage. However, we count this in the walk-in location so that you will see under 2-liter beverages we have 60 bottles. You could enter it by the case if you want, but I inventory it simply by the bottle, and you'll see under beverage Aquafina only 2 bottles and 82 of the 20-ounce soda, and it just continues on. Now let's look at something a little more sensitive, like cheddar cheese here. You'll notice that I have 54 under a case pound. Now, you and I both know a case only weighs approximately 48 pounds. However, I had a case plus 4 more blocks. The total weight ended up being 54 pounds. You can include that just as one single weight. You don't have to make multiple entries, such as when we go to mozzarella, which actually, if I scrolled to the bottom, we would see mozzarella. Note, I just have 420 pounds, even though it says that's just one case. It actually cares more about the poundage than it does what case it belongs in, so that's why I chose that particular unit. Now, each thing has its own unit, so that if I went to pizza sauce, I could have done it by the case if I wanted to, by the bag, by the pound, or by the ounce. Obviously, we don't want to do it by the pound or the ounce. Cases are alright, but me personally, I choose to do it by the bag. Once I enter all of that data into this particular category, I switch over to Grab and Go. We don't use Grab and Go, so we proceed to the beverage cooler. We're not going to use the beverage cooler, so we're going to pass through to dry storage. Now in dry storage, again, you just take an individual count of everything that you have. If you had a case unopened of the black bowls, just enter it as a case, and if you have any loose ones, add that to each. Same goes for each and every product you have here. Just make sure that you watch your units. That's what's very important, because you wouldn't accidentally, on tray family, wouldn't want to accidentally enter 475 under a case, because that's 475 times 250. And I'm here to tell you, that's a lot of trays. Finally, under new items, these are mostly individual. If we scroll down through here, you'll have a few things like your gluten-free crusts. Now, I have my gluten-free crusts in the walk-in, so you'll note that there are no entries. I don't care much for the redundancy of this, so you have to keep tabs if you've entered it somewhere else. If it's in another location, you need to make sure that you don't redundantly enter it again. Once you have all of your product entered, over here it wouldn't be grayed out, you would press save. Once you have saved it, you can simply exit to previous, and your inventory has been posted. You may make edits within the week to your inventory posting, and just know that MenuLink keeps an ongoing record of what has come in through Cisco or Creation Gardens, and it constantly knows what's coming into your store. So as long as you have a period opening inventory and a period ending, it does not require that you take one every single week, and it can figure out your food costs on the period. Now, in general, they want you to do this every single week so that they have a weekly food cost model for forecasting, but in all honesty, as we've always done it by the month, we can keep doing it like that unless you want to change it to the week. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me, and that concludes our session on inventory posting.